West Ham are about to potentially make a huge signing that could be an absolute game changer for our campaign to get back to the Premier League this season. It is not a player, it's a coach. It is Nuno's long-time number 2, Rui Pedro Silva. And this is a man that has been with Nuno for about 14 years, since 2012, sorry. He's been with him for across multiple clubs: Rio Ave, Valencia, Porto, Wolves, Forest, and a lot of people say that, and I've seen a lot of the replies saying he's the brains behind Nuno. Shout out to Wolfie Forest Fan TV. Messaged me and said, "Wow, this is massive for you," because obviously he had him at his club, and it's exciting because, look, we know when we sign Nuno, and this is the big issue, is, and Mark's pointing out, we may have stayed up, Nuno was not given his backroom staff. He had to work with the academy coaches as his backroom staff for a long period of the season. Then we eventually got Paco in. Now, what this means for Paco, it probably means that Paco may not be returning. It looked like he was off. Then apparently they wanted him to stay, and he put a post out saying, hinting that he was staying. But surely, if he's not going to be number 2, Paco's going to go. But for Nuno to have a guy that has been with him across multiple clubs over a decade is huge. And it just goes to show you, Sullivan has to take the blame for our relegation. If you're going to sign a man, give him the tools. This is someone that Nuno's taken to every single club that he's been at. Every single club. Yet, he doesn't get to come to West Ham. So instead of coming to West Ham, when they leave Forest, he goes to Wolves. Now, yes, Wolves ultimately get relegated, but I'm not going to sit there and put it on Silva. So this is huge. And we'll read some of the replies, the reactions from them, because it's always good to get those insights. A lot of Forest fans are saying that's West Ham winning the league next season. So we'll talk about, we'll go on to some of the Staveley news I've seen. We'll talk about the Bowen news and other bits and pieces. But let's start with this positive, because I think it is a massive positive. Because to have someone like you're saying to them, all right, you're backed, you get your staff in, and now you can do your best. Well, this is someone that he knows Nuno inside and out. Feels comfortable with him, knows what Nuno expects, knows what he wants. So it's given us, I think, a huge boost. As good as Paco is, I think the one that there seemed to be a little bit of disjointedness between Paco and Nuno, and I love Paco and I want him to stay, but I do think that this is big in the fact that he is Nuno's guy, so that is a huge boost. I'll show you all some of the reaction. Let's see some of the reaction to this. You can sort of read some of the there. All right, so I don't know if you can read it, but I'll read some of it. Obviously, Wolves fans not happy. It's the last thing we need. This is a Forest fan. That's West Ham not just going back up, but winning the league comfortably. Congratulations, West Ham United, on winning the league. Suppose second will have to do. I believe that's a Wolves fan. Yeah. He is what makes Nuno turn from a good manager to a great one. That's a yellow every game, then. So apparently, people say he's very passionate. So he can get a booking. Massive blow to us as a Wolves fan. That's West Ham winning the league at a Canter. Forest fan. Yeah, they're steamrolling their way through the Championship. Shit news for us. So you can see, like, the Forest fans are saying West Ham are smashing that league. The Wolves fans are massively concerned. So it's good to get Southampton fans as they're winning the Championship. We'll see about that. It's this guy's bringing trusted right-hand man along isn't a minor backroom update. It's Nuno making sure the system he actually trusts travels with him. Several iron staff he's still learning. That's the big thing. He had to join. And listen, he takes a lot of a lot of criticism Nuno for last season, but he was handcuffed. He was massively handcuffed. He was working at a handicap because he had to try and get to know the staff, and the staff had to get to know him. And you're just starting at a deficit. Get your money and then winning the championship. Look, the Wolves fans are fuming. Forest fans walking the league. It tells you everything, right? Is it confirmed? So it's not official, but so this has been reported by this guy. He's actually got me blocked, John Percy Telegraph. But I honestly think that there's a lot to it, and I think I believe this genuinely. So yeah, you sort of get the picture there. You get the picture. We need more Lawless content. Hope you're well. Cheers, Matt. There will be. I've got a video planned. It's been an interesting one. So yeah, 100% positive in my opinion. So let's get this official. Of course, everything's for a grain of salt, but I think it's going to happen. I think it's real positive. Hey Dan, can't people just buy a cheap replica and one from the club store, then return the one? People have been asking that. So this is about the kit. Obviously, Nikki tried to do a video yesterday. It didn't end up coming out too well because of the internet connection. I did one on Lawless Live, but you can try. I wouldn't recommend it just in case, but you could try. But they're just as good. The quality. There's almost no point because these OK Jersey ones are really good quality. Yeah. So John Percy is reliable for Midlands club news. There you go. So really positive. Now there's all talks about the Staveley. I did see a report that the Staveley talks have stalled. Not that it's not happening at all, but it's stalled because Sullivan is unwilling to sell his shares at the moment. I think it's unless it's as part of agreement with Kretinsky. So it sounds like Kretinsky will have to buy him and sell him on. OK Jersey is doing the new kit, yeah. So yeah, it's frustrating because like Sullivan, why are you still here, mate? You've got no power, you've got no say, so fuck off. Like really and truly, he's like, this just shows you that this guy, how much disdain he has for the fan base. He was always our enemy. He was always working against us. He never wanted what was best for the club. Yes, spite. Never wanted what was best for the club. It was always about what's best for Sullivan. It was always about his ego, Napoleon complex. And now we've got a chance to have someone come on board that has transformed Man City and Newcastle. Absolutely transformed, changed lives. And he refuses. Even though he earns a massive profit, he's cutting his nose off to spite his face. Kretinsky is buying Sullivan to then sell to Staveley. I mean, that makes the most sense, right? If Sullivan, I don't get it. I don't know whether Sullivan gets a bonus because I know that there might have been a first refusal deal where Kretinsky, when he bought the shares, he had the rights to Sullivan shares if Sullivan shared them. So I wouldn't write this off completely. You know what? I think you literally just commented this on my channel. I think I just before I went live, see this comment on Lawless Live on the price. Yeah, I wasn't happy with the price. Go and check out my video on Lawless Live if you want to hear what I said about the shirt. But I wasn't happy about the price, but still, we can't ever be justifying those prices. But yeah, let's not panic. Let's not panic on the Staveley news yet. Like I said, until Sullivan's no longer got a single share in this club, it's not done. It's not done. Where are you hearing this? Dad's our job. DK and Staveley to have equal share. I hope it's true, but we have to wait and see. I think a lot of people are getting antsy, and I see people in the chat going like, someone said about asset stripping, like, where's the signings? We ain't even got our director of football in yet. Like, that's what we need sorted. We need this director of football in to go and do it. Now, look, we negotiated a great deal to sell Fernandes. Really good price, 85 mil for a guy that weren't even, at the World Cup, not even in the squad for Portugal. Who is the signing? Now you've joined late. It's Nuno's number 2. It's Nuno's number 2 is the new signing. potentially. It's not official, but Rui Pedro Silva, like I said, been with Nuno pretty much his whole managerial career. So big signing. But I see people want players in. I'm not panicking yet. I think the World Cup obviously is holding things back, but I am a bit of like, why have we not got this director of football over the line? We were supposed to be getting this guy from, was it Rangers? Or something like that? It was, or Celtic. It was either Celtic or Rangers. I weren't too impressed by his CV, to be honest with you, but it's better than nothing from where we are in the Championship. But yeah, like I said, the clock will be ticking. I think for me, it's keeping the players, the big names, and then we're getting this money, and we're gonna have money to spend. We haven't got any FFP troubles or anything like that. I'm hearing. Yeah. So shout out Rowley. What's happening with Paco? I think Paco goes. I think if Rui Pedro Silva comes in, I think that's the end of Paco at West Ham, which is a shame, but this guy's worked with Nuno longer, so I think that's a boost. So let's not panic, but that's what I say on signings. I'm not panicking yet on incomings. It's being reported that it's looking increasingly likely. I think that's what X reported, that Jarrod Bowen will stay. He's open to stay in the club. Don't want to sell him. So you imagine that is like a massive signing in itself. And I know it sounds a bit to say that we're not signing anyone new, but to have Bowen in the Championship, guys, he will destroy that league. He will absolutely destroy it. We're trying to sign Disasi. Apparently, we want to sign him on loan with a loan with a 30 million obligation if we go up, I believe it is. So imagine we get Disasi at centre back. We get Bowen, KG. I know how you're feeling about Bowen, but Bowen in the Championship, sorry, he's going to smash it. Bowen, it's looking like Souček's definitely going to stay now. He's injured. He's not going to be sold. So you have Souček. So you're going to have a core of Premier League quality players. We'll have Kyle Walker-Peters at right back, who was decent. It's looking really positive, I think, in terms of who we're going to keep. So I'm not like, because I see us linked with these names of like these just random ass Championship players, and I'm like, yeah, whatever. I'm not moved. I'm more concerned about who we get to keep and then everyone else we slot in. But sign Disasi, mate. That would be a massive statement of intent. Disasi ain't, he's going back to France. I mean, yeah, we'll have to see. We'll see. I mean, look, if we loan him with a 30 million obligation, I don't think Paris FC are going to match that level of money to Chelsea. Like, he can want to go to Paris, but what are Paris going to offer Chelsea? So it's all about, how much we can spend. Souček in the Championship, I think will be good. I think Souček in the Championship, he had a decent season last season. Like, he banged a few goals in. But, we're going to have to get those youngsters in. So I think we've got some, like, youngsters. So, like I said, I want to get some signings in. Of course I do. But I'm not stressing over it at the moment. If we go and start selling a load of players, I'm going to panic. Like, Somerville, he's been linked with Spurs. Do you know what? And I did a video. I come on here and I said, do you know what? Mateus Fernandes to Spurs. I'm not stressing over it. We got 85 mil. We fleeced them. Happy days. But it's like, if we then go and sell Somerville to Spurs, unless we got like silly money for it, I don't know, man. It's just, I think it's a step too far. Like, there's only so much you can justify it, Thoughts on our fans thinking Bowen on loan will benefit us? FMP thoughts. Bowen, what? Loaning out Bowen will benefit us. I mean, anyone that thinks that, I'm sorry, you're an idiot if you think loaning Bowen out will benefit us. I'm sorry, and that's a harsh thing to say. But loaning out Bowen. And this talk, right, I see Goldstein come out, and I meant to do a video on this. Goldstein come out and said Bowen to Villa. It's going to happen. No chance, guys. No chance of Bowen getting Villa. Like, mark this right now. Bowen will not be an Aston Villa player next season. I'm saying he's going to be a West Ham player. But why would we go and sell him to Villa. Villa haven't got that sort of money. They're going to sell Morgan Rogers and then pay 60 cents. We're going to ask for big money for Bowen, for a 29-year-old that they're not willing to pay. They're not going to be able to afford him. And then they're going to have to pay him more. We pay him about 150 grand a week. Apparently, if you sign Bowen, you're going to have to pay him at least 170 grand a week. I just can't see it. I can't see it. No, what, we sell Bowen and loan him back? I mean, that's the only... But it's just like, if you sold Bowen, right? Say you got 75 mil for Bowen, or 70 mil, whatever, for Bowen, and then we could loan him back for a season. But then why would you do that as a club? Why would you do that on a young player? Like, no one would buy a player that's 29 years old on big money, big wages, and then just loan him back to the club for a season, and then he'll be 30 next year. You want him now. Like, there's no scenario where loaning Bowen in any shape or form, any way you want it, makes any sense. So anyone saying that is talking absolute shit. Like, it's a nonsense. Villa, exactly. Villa find PSR issues. They can't afford Bowen. They can't. We pulled out Friday, who's our budget cheap option. Fair enough. People are coming late. You got to rewire. I was talking about Nuno's. He's in the thumbnail. The new signing. There's a big red arrow pointing to his face. Now, I didn't put his name in the title, but it's in there. Yeah, we've got Bowen next season. He's a West Ham player. Unless someone gets really desperate and splashes big money and we can't turn it down, or something issues happens behind the scene, let's just take it that Bowen will 100% be here next season. I can't say 100%. No, nothing's 100%. It is very, very likely Bowen will be here next season. It's almost certain Souček will be here next season. Hopefully we keep Mavropanos. Hopefully we can somehow sign Disasi. You know, you get Kante, I think, can do a really good job. Freddie Potts, I think this will be a huge season for him. I think Diouf will be a West Ham player next season, looking like he was off. But there hasn't really been any interest in him. I don't think anyone's going to come in and pay 20 plus million, whatever we'd asked for Diouf. And he was poor towards the end of last season, but I think he'll be good in the Championship. You know, I think he'll do a job. And then Scholes, I think, will also do well. We need to sign a left winger. Pace. Need some pace. And Tatty, it's looking like Tatty will probably stay. Callum Wilson's touch and go. Pablo, I think, is touch and go. But imagine Tatty, Bowen, new left winger. When you maybe get a creative player and then Hermansen, who had a decent redemption last season. I know, like, towards the end, he made some errors, but he'll smash the Championship. Like, we're going to basically have a mostly Premier League team in the Championship with now Nuno and his number 2, which is the guy I'm talking about in the title. His long-term number 2. Bang. Wolves will surely get Adama. Yeah, I wouldn't bother keeping Traore, to be fair. Like, his fitness is shocking. Like, a fully fit Traore, yes. But no, there's no point. Yeah, set piece coach. Yeah, we do need a set piece coach, I think. Our set pieces were shocking. Absolutely shocking, our set pieces, for scoring and defending. So that needs to be addressed. That 100% needs to be addressed. But yeah, I'm just seeing if there's any other. Oh, we're proposed package for Lorient striker Elie Junior Krupi. I think we've been linked with him before. Again, I'm not taking anything into consideration when it comes to who we're signing. So yeah, 100%. But on the we could have a squad to win the Championship and FA Cup. Southampton got to the semis. Yeah, listen, I think we can be very positive. Mav will probably go to... Yeah, do you know what? The news about him being linked with Dortmund is stalled. If Dortmund come in, like, he's going Dortmund, let's be real. You're not turning down Dortmund to stay in the Championship. But, yeah. We got good at set pieces. I think good is a stretch. I think we were so bad at set pieces early in the season that when we started doing better at defending them and scoring a couple, I think that was, it looked brilliant compared to that. But yeah, I think we still need to address it. But yeah, Wilson, I think is 50-50. I think there's an offer on the table, but I think he's going to have other offers in the Prem. Alvarez, yeah, we don't know what's going to happen with Alvarez. There's so much in the air. We get the director of football in ASAP, whoever it is, get it in and let's start moving. Let's start moving. I know the World Cup is on. We shouldn't be too stalled by the World Cup when it comes to incomings. We're not going to really sign many players that are at the World Cup, I don't think. Although we've been linked with one Ghana winger who from Leicester. Can't remember his name. So yeah, it's huge, guys. I think it's huge going into it. Like I said, keep who we can keep, and yeah, I'm not stressing on who's going out, who we're bringing in. I mean, so yeah, positive news, right? Everything's still positive. Let's see what happens with the takeover. Hopefully, Kretinsky goes and buys those Sullivan shares, get him out completely, and then we move on. I surely the game plan, like Kretinsky, they've kicked him off the board, Sullivan, right? He's not on the board. Surely the game plan is to get him out completely. Why would you want this dead weight, this albatross around your neck, and that is Sullivan, hanging around with those shares when you can get rid of him, get proper investment in that's going to take your investment to the next level and bring you more of it. Like, it don't make business sense to just leave Sullivan with those shares. So if you're Kretinsky and you think, right, I've got to buy these shares and then I'll sell to Staveley and Co. Yeah. Should ransack what's left of Leicester. The thing is, I don't know if I want to. I know we got relegated and taking players of us, and we've signed from. But these players got relegated to League One, like back-to-back relegate. I wouldn't sign too much Leicester players. That's just my opinion. Yeah, that's crazy. Isn't Alvarez injured? But we'll see on Monday when he plays again, if he plays against England. But yeah, so listen, guys, it's all go. It's all go at West Ham. It's all go. So as I said, go check out my video on Lawless Live about the kit if you haven't seen it yet, because I know Nicky's was a bit of issues on here. So go check that out and let me know what you think of the kit. And there will be another video on there over the weekend, potentially. I think probably maybe tomorrow I'll get a video up and should be good. So listen, happy hammers. Let's hope Nuno gets his guy in. Should have been there from the start of Nuno's reign, and we might have stayed up. But ultimately, look, we're moving in the right direction as a club, I think. Upwards and onwards, guys. Do check out OK Jersey. They will be having the new shirt on there. It's not there just yet, but they will have that. They'll probably have the elite version as well, which will be the similar price. But you can go get last season's shirt. You can go get a lot of the retros and the international shirt. So OK Jersey, Nicky 10 for 10% off. I'll get an update on when that's going to be. So thank you all so much for watching. Have a good weekend. Enjoy the game on Monday with England. And one thing left to say. Come on, you Irons.